This is her outside after I just told her that. I'm waiting for my daughter. She had just yelled, I need my daughter taken away. She's videotaping me. She's not scared of me at all. So that's her in the yard, and if she turned, as you can tell, she can see my daughter's bus approaching. Now, mind you, I have to stand here to get my daughter off the bus because I don't want anything else to happen to her. At this point, my daughter's scared, so I have to be outside. I'm on the sidewalk now, close to the street. That's the view of the, her patio and my balcony where I was standing the day before. Now my daughter's bus is approaching at this moment as she's going toward the door. And she's well aware, so my daughter's bus is coming up. And as you can see, she can get on that porch. She can get to the door easily without any assistance.
So is she going into her apartment at this point? Is that
at this point, from my understanding, she's acting like she can't get in by herself. And as you will see, she stays there as me and my daughter approach. So this is my daughter's bus approaching. Hello. Were you able to talk to Sherry yesterday? Were you able to talk to Sherry about what happened yesterday? No. She didn't ask you because the lady almost ran over Zavia. I was asking, did you see that incident at all? Where Zavia was getting up. It was like right where the lady, did you see the people on the, yeah, she came on and she almost ran into. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah. You did? Okay. Would you mind talking to somebody about it if I was able to get someone in contact with you? Okay, thank you. Bye. Hi, I miss you today. I checked the mail. And that's the sheriff I pulled over. I yelled to come over. So that after speaking to the bus driver and Zavia, that's when I knew what she did. It was on purpose. And that's when the police came, and then that's when they suggested I get a OP.
And that stands for what?
A temporary, OP, temporary orders of protection. I would have used the back door, but there's a hallway. So when you go toward the back of the building and you enter the back door, that hallway goes past her door to her apartment. So I would have been blocked coming, blocked going to my apartment. That's the only way from, the front door entryway up to the stairs. So that's why I stayed where I was and didn't go to the back, because I didn't want to get stuck back there with her acting like she couldn't get into her apartment. And that's when the OP started. And the harassment did not stop there. May 26th, 2021, as I was getting my daughter off the bus, I checked outside and Lorna and Nicole were on the sidewalk. So I decided to go out the back door, and I was waiting for my daughter, and Nicole stayed on the sidewalk and Lorna rolled back toward the back of the building. So I felt threatened by that. And so I called the police and told them what was happening. And I was just asking the police to ask them if they would not behave that way, because at that point, I had an OP on Zavia against Lorna and Nicole. So I had OPs on me and Zavia against them, and not seeing, and I was hoping that they would just kind of like stay off the sidewalk, allow me to use the sidewalk, allow me to have access, to the back. And the police came out and talked to them and tried to explain what I was asking. And then the next day, I was given the 28-day termination of tenancy. And according to Matt, that was the catalyst, if you say, that caused him to do that.
Okay. All right. Anything else you wanted to say or submit in your case then, Ms. Hudson, that we've not already gone over in your testimony?
Yes. Did have one other thing. On one moment. So in May,
We're talking about May of 2021.
yes, May 12th of 2021, Lorna accused me of egging her car and scratching her car. She called the police and accused me of that behavior. I was able to show the police on the surveillance that that did not happen, that I didn't do it.
Now, what surveillance are you referring to there?
So I had a camera that set in my bedroom window to watch my vehicle, and to try to capture like the harassment from the parking lot when she was in the back of the parking lot.
Okay, so if you had surveillance on, were you able to discern who did do the damage, the egging and the car scratching?
So from what I could see, that there was no egg or scratch on the car. And that I was able to, the officer told me what they told him, and I was able to say, they said they never left the parking lot. I was able to show from the surveillance that they did leave the parking lot. I saw them walking around the vehicle. There were no pictures taken. There was nothing on there. So I explained that to the officer, and he removed me as like a potential suspect.
But you said that there wasn't any egg or scratch on the car, so what would there be a suspect of then?
They accused me of putting something on their car. They accused me of egging their car and scratching their car.
Okay, and you just testified that there wasn't any egging and there wasn't any scratching. So
Exactly. They lied. They lied
okay,
to the officer saying that happened, and there was nothing on there.
okay, but then to say that you were removed as a suspect suggests that there was actually something that happened to the car.
What I'm saying is what the officer told me. He told me that my name was like cleared, like there was nothing from it. I said I don't want my name to be like involved in this, and he was like, it won't be. And then I'd like to add that on May 1st, 2021, Lorna called the police saying that I was slamming my doors and stomping around the apartment. The police called me, and I explained to them that I was at the park the whole time, and they said that it was unfounded. Complaint is unfounded. So she was just calling the police to say things about me that just weren't true, with no proof whatsoever. On May 14th, 2021, I went out to my car and she had parked her car, I would say parallel behind me where I could, if I had backed out, I would have hit her vehicle. So I had to pull out into the front of the yard and I took a picture and I asked the officer, I called the officer and I spoke with him on the phone and I asked him, what would I do in a situation if that had happened again? And he said that I would just call them as it was happening. But so I felt like she was blocking my vehicle from exiting the parking lot. Also on May 30th, 2021, she called the police stating that well, we were both outside. I had went outside to grab something from my car and it was dark and she was out there. And she told the police that she was scared of me because I had a knife. And she thought I had a knife because I had a knife prior. And she told the officer that she felt that she could not. So the officer stated that Lorna could not articulate why she felt threatened by me. She really had nothing to report but wanted me to leave the building already. So that just tells me that her intentions were to like get me kicked out of the unit. And she was doing everything she could.
You had already been served with a 28-day vacation notice, is that right?
On 5/30, yes.
Oh, okay, you hadn't been it. Okay.
Yes, I was. I received the notice on 5/27/2020, and this happened on 5/30/2020. So even though I was being asked to leave, her behavior did not stop. It actually escalated. They would play, so she would play loud music outside my daughter's window, kind of like the way she was.
Who is she?
Lorna.
Okay.
And she would play it for a length of time. So I did call the police and I did record a video of the type of music she was playing and how loud she was playing it. Because there were times where the music was just too much. It wasn't for her to just enjoy it. I do have a video of that, of the kind of music she was playing and the volume of it outside my daughter's window. Let's see if I can this is the 12th video and it's of Lorna playing music. This is video 13 of this same incident, same day. And here's more music. So sorry, I dropped something. One moment. So this would happen frequently. It usually would until I just had enough, and then I would record it and let the police know if it was stopped.
So did the police do anything about the noise complaint?
So the police came, and it's like they would turn it down. Like you could, like the way the apartment was set up, Snow was a busy road. So you could literally look out and see like police coming. So I could, so when the police came, they turned it down, and the police, it wasn't that loud, but I would show the videos to the officers. And then the officer did say, don't play it that loud. Let's just, be agreeable to music. And then the last incident, I feel like that is very pertinent to, well, there's two, sorry. So on 6/10, 2021, Gary Yerrick, Lorna's husband, called accusing me of attempting to hit his wife with my U-Haul truck. Officer called me, and I explained to him that I had a U-Haul truck, and I called me and I said, yes, I do have a U-Haul truck. No, I did not try to hit Lorna. And the officer pretty much said, okay, thank you. And that was that. Nothing came of it. It was unfounded. Now, I later, that same day, I decided to leave. I was upset. I had my daughter. So I decided to take my daughter to the park. I do have a video of Nicole Yerrick and her boyfriend, Jason Samita, following me in my U-Haul truck. I'd like to play that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. It's number 1561. Sorry.
So are you driving the U-Haul at this
Yeah,
point?
I'm gonna replay it. I apologize, Your Honor. No, I'm driving the U-Haul. That's their van following me behind me. They're not trying to speed up. I'm going pretty slow at this time. And they're videotaping me for some reason. And eventually they passed me.
That was them passing you right there?
Yeah, eventually, yeah. Like I stayed, the same speed and just try to record it. So they followed me toward the park. I changed my mind and went to Subway. The only way that Lorna and Gary would know I was at Subway is because Nicole eventually found me there. I do have pictures I'd like to put into evidence as well, just to show. Let me. Okay, so should be Exhibit C14.
Let's see here.
Let me find it.
I'm still looking. You said C14.
Yes, exhibit C14. They're actual pictures. They're colored pictures. I mean, pictures in color.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, I think what happened was my group of documents went from C8 to C19, and perhaps C14 is actually contained somewhere in between.